What a game he's had. Yager in front, turns, he scores! And that's 742!
Hello out there, we're on the air. It's hockey night tonight. Tension grows, the whistle blows, and the puck goes down the ice. The goalie jumps and the players bump and the fans all go insane. Someone roars, Bobby scores at the good old hockey game. Oh, the good old hockey game is the best game you can name. And the best game you can name is the good old hockey game.
Hello my friends, welcome to another edition of Stick Time. I'm Patrick Henkels here with my good friend Brett Mayerson. How you doing, bud?
Good, Patrick. How are you?
Great. So anyway, what's going on with this big trade we got with the New York Rangers? Eric Staal to the New York Rangers. What do you have to say about that, huh?
Good for the Rangers. I mean, very good trade. Eric Staal, very good veteran forward. Very good player at the point as well. Very good shot. I mean, he's playing with his older brother, Mark. I mean, I think the Rangers are going to really improve throughout the playoffs on this trade. I think it's really going to take them deep into the Eastern Conference playoffs.
I also agree. I mean, Eric Staal is a very dynamic player. Also, I feel like playing with his brother Mark Staal on defense will really help open up the Rangers scoring because they're both very skilled players. And really, I think it's a great asset to the team.
And they're both very good leaders, so I think that this team's going to have a lot more leadership now. New York fans have a lot to smile about. Let's talk about a team that usually has not been in the big name articles. The Florida Panthers getting Teddy Purcell from the Edmonton Oilers in a trade, Yuri Hudler from the Calgary Flames, and Jakob Kindl, a defenseman from the Detroit Red Wings. Three very good trades for the Panthers.
Well, the Panthers really just keep getting better and better as the year goes on. I mean, seriously, with the addition of Yager, they really turned the team around, and now they are really playoff contenders. And I'm just going to say, I think they have a really good shot at probably making the cup.
Yeah, I honestly think that the Yuri Hudler deal is probably the best deal they made. Yuri Hudler is a very good veteran scorer. He's 32 years old, but he could still score really clutch goals. He's a big overtime game-winning guy, so
yeah,
they need a guy like that. Teddy Purcell, very good, scrappy utility player. Jakob Kindl was in the minors for a few months, but he's getting better. And they just need they need more depth on the blue line with Willie Mitchell always going down with injuries. So I think Jakob Kindl is definitely going to be a huge help to this team. I think the Panthers basically just decided let's go all in and made all these great deals, and now they're going to probably go really deep in the Eastern Conference playoffs.
Just want to apologize for that last thing. Ian just kind of walked by. All apologies.
Yeah.
All right, so Brett, what else is going on in the good old NHL?
What else is going on in this league? Let's talk about the New Jersey Devils. They traded away Eric Jelena, their defenseman, for a draft pick. Devils once again sinking their own ship. Very good job, New Jersey.
Really, this trade is just honestly very confusing. I wonder, Jelena is a very good player for the Devils on the blue line, and
he is injured a lot, but when he's healthy, he's great.
I know, but why would you trade him for a third-round draft pick? I mean, do they know anything about this player at all?
I don't really know if they do. I mean, for all we know, they could use that pick on a very good player. I think the Devils are the Devils know that they're on the brink of making the playoffs right now. They're on the borderline.
They have to have a reason. They really do.
Yeah, they're on the borderline right now of making the playoffs, and they probably think they're most likely not going to cross that blue line. So I think that General Manager Ray Shero, who built the dynasty in Pittsburgh, is really just thinking we should just plan for the future because of the fact that they're on the borderline and all these teams keep overtaking them, so they don't know if they're going to be able to consistently keep it with the scoring trouble that they're having.
Cross that blue line.
Exactly.
Hockey puns.
Yeah, well, in soccer it's the red line on the border, so now it's the blue line in the standings here. Let's talk about the Arizona Coyotes and the Colorado Avalanche engaging in a historic trade. The Coyotes trading forward Mikhail Bodker to Colorado in exchange for Alex Tanguay, Connor Beckley, and defenseman Kyle Wood. Alex Tanguay, still very good for a guy his age. Been playing in the league for, I believe, 13 seasons now. Still a very good scorer. I mean, I think the Coyotes won that trade. I think both sides actually won that trade, but getting rid of Bodker might have been a really tough decision for Arizona.
Definitely, the Coyotes have always been kind of a struggling franchise, and when you trade away kind of a franchise player like that, it really might hurt their chances, I think, of ever really winning anything anytime soon. But on the other hand, the Avalanche, I think, are really getting something great in return.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably tough for the Avalanche to give up Tanguay, a guy who's been playing on the Avalanche for most of his career.
Yeah.
But, you got to give up something if you want to get a really good young scoring player. Let's see what other trades we have here. We have the Carolina Hurricanes traded defenseman John Michael Lyles to the Boston Bruins for Anthony Kamara, forward, and a 2016 third-round pick, as well as a 2017 fifth-round pick. I don't know what that fifth-round pick's going to do. We have no idea what that draft class is going to be like. John Michael Lyles, a very good defenseman, but unfortunately the Carolina Hurricanes have to rebuild. They haven't been good since they won the Stanley Cup in 2006,
Yeah.
so they got to do something. Like
Especially after listening to a player like Eric Stahl.
Oh yeah, I mean trading away Eric Stahl, they had to do that. Eric Stahl was aging. He probably wasn't gonna. He's probably gonna ask for too much money because his contract was gonna be up soon. New York can pay him that money. Carolina can't.
Because they're a successful franchise. That's
Yeah,
why.
exactly. But I think the Hurricanes are just thinking we gotta blow this team up and rebuild because they actually have one of the worst attendances in the league right now.
Yeah.
People do not realize why hockey is still surviving in Charlotte, North Carolina, and Raleigh, North Carolina. But it somehow still is surviving. And the Florida Panthers, after making a really good move and getting all three of those players that we mentioned earlier, Kindle, Purcell, and Hoodler, decide to trade forward Brandon Peary to the Anaheim Ducks in exchange for a 2016 sixth-round pick. Now, wasn't so sure how I felt about this trade being a Panthers fan myself, but looking at the social media reactions to it on Twitter from hockey analysts, it might have been beneficial. I mean, you just got Hoodler. Hoodler is basically an older version of Peary.
Yeah.
And he's been in the NHL for a while. He's got a lot more experience. Peary had a lot of potential. The guy was money in the shootout, and he was a very good scorer. But the only problem is he's always injured, and you can't have a guy who's always hurt.
Yeah, that's always a problem with any player, really, no matter how skilled. If they're always injured and they're always being taken out of games like that, and it can really be detrimental to a team's success. I mean, one player does not make a team.
It doesn't.
But it's important to have that key player there to always make sure that not only is he performing out there on the ice with his skills, but he's also providing good team morale and bringing the best out of everyone else. And when you don't have that key player, it's very difficult.
Yeah, it seems like they figured the Ducks are going to need a guy like that, so let's just trade him away. But would you rather be on the team, if you're in Brandon Peary's situation, would you be on the team when you came back from injury? Would you rather stay on the Panthers and be a healthy scratch every other night? Or would you want to go to Anaheim where you'd be playing every night of the week?
Go to Anaheim.
Exactly. I mean, congratulations to you, Brandon Peary. You're in one of the greatest states to play hockey, Southern California. You got great weather and a great sport.
Oh,
so, I mean, also that's a great move right there for the Panthers because getting the draft pick in exchange, they did trade away. They traded away late round picks for all these guys they got. They gave up almost nobody.
Yeah.
They gave up none of their future, and they could afford to get rid of some of those late young picks because of the fact that they're just doing so hard. Now they're tied for third in the Eastern Conference, which they haven't done since 2012 when they made it to the Eastern Conference quarterfinals and lost in Game 7 to New Jersey.
Yeah.
But I think that this Panthers team is really capable now, especially with guys like Hoodler and Kindle and Purcell. All that depth is going to really help them come playoff time, and only a little under 24 games until playoff time, Patrick. So we don't have that long until
We don't
playoffs start.
have that long. And honestly, hopefully the Panthers will do well, but if they go up against the Rangers,
I think they'll be a high seed if they go in because they'll be in second or third in the conference, so they won't have to match up against the Rangers unless it's in the conference final.
that would be quite a game.
That would be quite a series.
would,
I would go to every game of that.
I would suggest not talking to me if that ever happens.
All right, Pat.
I'm serious.
Patrick Henkels, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
And one more trade. Let's talk about another big name trade. The Buffalo Sabres trade forward Jamie McGinn to the Ducks in exchange for a 2016 conditional third-round pick. Not so bad getting a third-round pick in return. Jamie McGinn, very good player. But the Sabres, nothing is going to help Buffalo. I am sorry, Buffalo. Nothing is going to help you. Drafting Jack Eichel, you thought that would help a little bit.
Yeah.
Getting Evander Kane, would that help a little bit? Getting Ristolainen on defense still doesn't help. Buffalo is still terrible.
They're really
Laughing stock of the league.
They are in a hole that they just simply cannot get out of right now, and it really shows based on the games you watch, and just everything just looks terrible.
And it's sad because the talent is there.
Talent is there, but you have to have that chemistry, and you have to have that discipline and the consistency.
And they have Dan Bilesma, who's a fantastic coach, in my opinion. And the fact that he's there and they have the talent is just unbelievable to me that they cannot at least be like the New Jersey Devils and be borderline playoff. And they're in last place in the NHL right now.
Bad.
I mean, that's terrible.
Very bad situation for that team.
Oh yeah, very bad situation. Let's talk about the upcoming games this week. Now that our big trade news are over, let's talk about local games first. We have tonight at 7 o'clock. We have the New Jersey Devils against the Carolina Hurricanes at the Prue Center in Newark. So, what do we think about this game, Patrick?
I have a feeling the Devils, because Carolina is really a struggling franchise, and even though the Devils kind of made a questionable trade, I have a feeling that they'll be able to pull off this win, because I think they overall just have a better team than Carolina.
I was going to say the exact same thing. I mean, I just think Carolina is really in a big rut right now. They're not even competing with some of the big name teams anymore. Carolina also traded away one of their better scorers, Chris Versteeg, and losing him and Stahl. I mean, that's not good for Carolina. I say the Devils will win this one. And Panthers Jets, the battle of the Atlantic Division right here tonight. Panthers trying to claim sole possession of first place in the Atlantic Division after losing their past 2 games, and the Lightning winning last night. They are now tied with 78 points. What do we think of this team? I mean, the Jets actually just traded away Andrew Ladd. We forgot to mention Andrew Ladd has been traded to the Chicago Blackhawks, a man Florida was highly interested in, who we talked about on our last show here on Stick Time. Andrew Ladd traded to the Blackhawks. He was also the Jets captain. What do we think is going to happen in this one?
I definitely say that Panthers are.
This is in Winnipeg, may I first say.
This is in Winnipeg, and Jets have their home ice advantage, but Panthers are really itching for a win right now, because now that they're 2 games down, they really want to get back on the roll and continue their winning traditions right now.
Yeah, I don't even think I have a prediction. I think this is a toss-up. I mean, I think this is an absolute toss-up.
Yeah.
I would love to see Panthers win. I think the Panthers can probably pull it out. But that Jets arena, that is one of the loudest environments in all the NHL. When those Jets score, the place shakes.
Definitely pandemonium, man.
Oh my God, I've seen it on TV. Another local games we have are the team that represents our nation's capital, the Washington Capitals. Play on words there.
Okay.
Playing on the nationally televised game tonight will actually be NBC Sports Network, 7:30 p.m. The Washington Capitals and the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Oh boy, definitely the Capitals.
Definitely the Caps.
Capitals are red hot right now.
Especially because the Penguins played last night, so back-to-back road games is kind of hard to beat the number 1 team in the league.
You got Ovechkin, Oshie.
Justin Williams.
It's not going to be pretty.
I don't know how good that game's going to be. The last local game we have for you is the New York Islanders at Vancouver. 10 o'clock tonight on MSG Network.
Bit of a toss-up, but I have to say the Islanders.
I'm going to have to say the Islanders too. I mean, the Canucks are really not as good as they used to be.
Yeah.
The Canucks, I mean, still great fans. Still very good talent with the Sedin twins.
I honestly do not like the Canucks fans, because every time they lose, they have to riot it, and I just don't see the point.
That's Canada, Patrick. That's Canadian hockey fans.
But that's not Canadian hockey.
Toronto fans
No, that's Vancouver hockey. I mean, Toronto fans, I think, have a lot more class, and so do Montreal fans. I know you're going to go back to the Richard riot in 1955. I know you are.
I was going to say that Toronto throws their jerseys on the ice every time they lose.
All right, but they don't.
The fans do that.
They don't go into the streets and overturn police cars and go nuts. I mean, come on. I mean,
it's all Western Canada has. What does Western Canada have besides hockey? I mean, I hear you. That's not very classy.
Now let's move on to college hockey.
Yeah.
Yeah. So one thing I want to talk to you about right now is the Quinnipiac hockey team.
Quinnipiac Bobcats, man.
Yeah. I mean, I can't believe how well this team is doing this year. I mean, I had no idea their hockey program was this strong.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Do you know how many kids are in the school? Hang on. To our audience listening, there are 7,000 kids in the school of Quinnipiac University. And they are the number 1 team right now in the toughest college hockey conference in the country, the ECAC,
Wow.
which features some of the top teams in the nation. You got St. Lawrence, Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute, all the Ivy Leagues, Quinnipiac, Union College, Colgate. Some of the best hockey schools in this country, Clarkson University in upstate New York, some of the best colleges in this country that have hockey teams are playing in this conference, and Quinnipiac is just dominating every single one of these teams.
It's unbelievable.
It's really unbelievable to me, and the fact that they're still number 1 in the country. A small 7,000 student school is number 1 in the country right now in hockey. And I think that this team's if this team doesn't win the national championship this year, something's awry.
I know.
Something is wrong.
Yeah, there's something wrong on the scoreboard on that one, because honestly, you have a great young team here with a bunch of great hockey players in a great hockey town, and honestly, I have a feeling they're going to go all the way with this.
Yeah, I think that let's have our little predictions a little bit of the college hockey bracket. We got the top teams in the country. We got Quinnipiac, St. Cloud State up in Minnesota, University of Minnesota Duluth. Michigan Tech, which is somehow in the ranking.
Yeah.
University of Michigan is number 10 right now, I believe, and both Boston University and Boston College are both in the rankings. I don't even see BU and BC being able to compete with Quinnipiac right now.
it's really strange because BU and BC they usually have great hockey programs, and then here's this little 7,000 student school that's upstage in them. It's unbelievable.
It's really great. I think that the finals will be, I think judging by, unless they make the bracket differently, I think it'll be St. Cloud State versus Quinnipiac. And I think that'll be a heck of a game. And Quinnipiac comes out victorious, like they should have in 2013 when they lost to Yale 3-0 in the finals after beating Yale 3 times in the regular season. So I think this is Quinnipiac's year. They got to get that first national championship under their belt.
Yep.
This is their time. Quinnipiac, this is your time, Bobcats.
It's your time, man. It's time.
Playing one of the greatest college hockey arenas in all of the country as well.
Oh.
All right, that wraps it up here on Stick Time. For all of us here at Stick Time, I'm Brett Mayerson.
I'm Patrick Ankles.
We'll see you next time on our next podcast. Peace out.
Peace out.